So good morning again. My name is Samba Jeng. I am with the Office of International Students and Scholars here at Lehigh. I'm here today with colleagues from the College of Engineering, my colleague from the Graduate Life Office, my colleague from the Housing Office, and my colleague from the Health Office. So with that, I would like to invite my colleagues from the College of Engineering to the microphone. Thank you.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Brienne Lisk. I'm the manager of graduate programs for our College of Engineering. First, I just want to say congratulations on your offer of admission and welcome to Lehigh. The engineering several graduate programs that span across these departments. Um, at the graduate level, each of our departments oversees their own admissions individually. So while I am always here to help assist all students and faculty and staff throughout their programs, up to this point, you may have been having the most direct contact with a department coordinator or a program coordinator. So that's the list you're seeing here now, the contact for each individual department or program that we have. And these are definitely the people that you'll be meeting first on campus and would be your first point of contact when you get here, when you have questions about your program and anything else that may come up while you're here. In order to finalize your admission, you do need to send us, if you have not already, some final official transcripts from any prior degrees. If you can send these electronically, certainly they must come directly from your home institution. However, you can bring these with you when you arrive. They need to be in sealed envelopes and show the degree that was conferred and the date on which it was conferred. If you don't submit these by the end of the first semester, you will not be able to continue registration and your grades will be held. So the sooner you take care of that, the better. Once you're here, there's lots of resources on campus. Certainly, if you have questions, the College of Engineering website is always a good place to start. There's links to all of our individual department websites, our faculty's websites, news and information about different research that's going on in the college. It will also contain a page with our graduate student handbook, which is kind of your Bible when you get here in terms of what rules and policies you should be following, degree requirements, things along those lines. And also our individual departments and programs will have a similar handbook with even more detail about your specific program. We do have a few programs that start in July here. They're listed here: Energy Systems Engineering, Healthcare Systems Engineering, Structural Engineering, and Technical Entrepreneurship. So some folks in those programs may be arriving a little earlier. And then our fall semester begins on August 27th. Orientations, you should have received or will be receiving information about all those dates. And typically your department will hold an orientation the week before classes start on Thursday. But you should check with your individual program coordinators for more details about those programs and when and where they will be held. If you have not already been notified and assigned an advisor, that will be happening soon. Some departments choose to wait until you arrive on campus and have you meet with your advisor at that point. So again, you should check with your department or program coordinator to verify how and when that will happen. Each of our departments oversees registration. So some of you may have already received instructions on how to register for coursework. Other departments like to wait until you arrive on campus and sit down face-to-face with an advisor before having you register for courses. Once you're registered, your Lehigh email address does become your formal preferred email address. So from that point forward, any communications that come from the university should be going to that address, and you are responsible for keeping track of that account. That's really it for my brief introduction. Please let us know if you have any questions, and there'll be some time at the end of everyone's presentation for some more questions, certainly. And again, contact your coordinators if anything pops up, and welcome to Lehigh.
Thank you, Bree. So like Bree said, please hold off on the questions until you hear from every office here on campus. So I would like to now invite my colleague Christina from the Health Service Center.
Hi, good morning. I'm Christina. I'm from the University Health and Wellness Center. We are the campus doctor, if you will. We're here to make sure that you stay healthy during your stay here at Lehigh. 95% of our services are included in your tuition. And as I understand, 95% of you will have the student health insurance, which means everything that you do here will be covered. Any tests that we send you out for or specialist appointments, I'll help you navigate that and make sure that you go to a colleague of ours that is trusted and a well-known physician. We will help you process the insurance paperwork because it can get quite confusing. If we are closed, you can call 24/7. We have a doctor on call that can recommend whether you should go to an emergency room or an urgent care or wait until the next day until we can see you. We are here for all undergraduate and graduate students. Unfortunately, we cannot see spouses or children. If you have questions when you arrive about insurance for that, there is a link on our website that explains how to get insurance for your family members. It can also be confusing, so if you have questions, please give me a call or email me. In our health center, we have a wellness resource area that has over-the-counter medications that do not need a prescription. You're welcome to come in and help yourself to those anytime that we are open. And at that time, you can also ask if you actually need a doctor's appointment or if it's something that can be treated with over-the-counter medications. We are located on campus within walking distance pretty much of anywhere you are. We're at the 3rd floor of Johnson Hall, which is in between the University Center and Taylor Dorm. We're open Monday through Thursday, 8:15 to 4:30, Friday, 9:15 to 4:30. We're closed on the weekends, but again, you can give us a call. There's 3 ways to make appointments. You can either give us a call on the phone, or the preferred method for most of our students is to go online. You can do this from the comfort of your room. You can do it, 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, you have a sore throat. You can go online and grab an appointment that fits into your schedule. And the sooner you do that, the more likely you are to have an opening that fits with your day. If you go on and there's no openings, please give us a call or stop in because we always can fit you in if you're sick. Now, again, those appointments are for nurses. If you need a physical or something that involves a physician, you do need to call us because those are more lengthy appointments and we need to schedule them as a needed basis. Before you all arrive, we sent you packages, or for graduate students, we had sent you a link that sends you all the required health forms. These are really important for us to get back in a timely fashion because we can review them. And then if there's something that you need, we can instruct you either on how to get it or tell you, what to do when you arrive so that we can make sure you get compliant as soon as you possibly can. I understand that there are some things you're not available in your countries, and we totally understand that. And we understand that you're not going to be compliant until you arrive, and that's fine. We can deal with that when you arrive. But just so that we can prepare you more fully, it's better to have those forms way as soon in advance as possible. You can mail those via mail, or you can scan and email them to us. There's 5 questions on the online student portal called the Tuberculosis Screening. There are 5 yes or no questions, and it only takes a matter of 5 minutes to complete them, but it's really important for us to know whether or not you're going to need further testing when you arrive. So if you could please go online, and it'll give you a link as to which countries we need further screening on. So if you could go online, just answer those 5 questions. If you do need further testing, you're going to get an email from one of our nurses, and that'll be done during your orientation. And it's just a quick test, and it's covered by the insurance company. If you're currently taking medications, if you're a diabetic or anything that is long-term, when you come to the school, can you please bring at least 1 or 2 months supply? Because if this is a prescription that needs to be seen by a specialist, then it may take me a month or 2 to get you in, depending on what type of specialty it is. I do not want you running out of your medication. So again, you may need 2 months supply to take with you. We've already discussed about how to make an appointment. Again, you can go to our website and there's an easy link and it says how to make an appointment. Click on that and follow the instructions. On the weekends, again, we're not there. We do have someone on call if you have questions, but there's 4 or 5 urgent centers, which are basically walk-in doctor centers that can help you with anything from pink eye to a sore throat. And they're a much more reasonable venue to go to than the emergency room, and they're a lot faster. Obviously, if you're having a true emergency, we want you to go to the emergency room, but these are a good alternative on the weekends. Again, I'll be here for questions at the end, and welcome to Lehigh.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kathleen Hutnick, and I'm the Associate Dean of Graduate Student Life. My office is essentially like perhaps a guidance counselor in a high school or a Dean of Students office at your undergraduate university. We like to call ourselves GLOW, G-L-O, and we have a little glowworm as our motto because we like to think that we light the way for graduate students. Our office was created about 15 years ago because here at Lehigh, we really truly believe that if you're happy and you're healthy and you have friends and you are supported both personally and academically, you are more likely to finish your degree and be successful and creative. That's what our office constantly strives to do for you. We also have a graduate student center. I meant to include a picture, and I'm sorry I don't have one here. It's located right on the edge of campus, very conveniently located. And that is to be your home away from home and your information center. So for example, every Tuesday morning, we offer a free complete breakfast for all graduate students. We want you to make sure you have a good meal at least once a week while you're here in graduate school. And we want you to connect with us and connect with other students, both within your department, but also throughout the university, because everybody here is doing so many interesting and fabulous things. Our office has a couple of goals. One of which is to provide you with alternatives to studying. We know you're going to be working very, very hard. And so our office provides lots of different activities. This little compilation of a slideshow gives you just a taste of some of the things we offer. We will have hand massages and stress relief. We will offer hikes. We will offer interesting programs based on student clubs. We have about 20 student clubs, some of which are academically or professionally oriented, some are for ethnic groups, and some are for special interest. Things change over the years depending on students' interests. We've had everything from Argentine tango to cricket clubs. And if there is not a club that interests you, we make it easy for you to start one on your own. But we're also here to provide guidance for all your non-academic needs. If you're trying to figure out which class to take, you go to your academic advisor. We cannot help you with that. But if there's something going on in your life that is potentially affecting your academics, we may not have all the answers, but we're a private, confidential place that we can probably point you in the right direction or connect you to the right people that will help you solve your issue. We have a lot of experience. We've been here a long time, and we can help you navigate the university and hopefully get the help that you need. We also have a small emergency loan in our office. Say you're living off campus and your car breaks down and you need a little extra money to get that car repaired. We offer a $500 loan, interest-free, that you have 6 months to pay back. We're here to help you be successful in the variety of ways that is necessary. We also provide, the university provides health insurance, and you'll learn a lot more about that um, over the next few months while you're still at home preparing. We'll be sending you out more detailed information very shortly. But our office helps to get the communication out about that. I do want to take a moment and just reiterate, and you'll hear this many, many times from many people over the next few months, that all international students on F1 or J1 are required to buy the university health insurance. The cost for the academic year is $1,918. If you are a doctoral student and are funded, the university will give you a 50% subsidy. You probably have already received the information, the detailed information on how you get the insurance and how you get the subsidy. This is a really critical part of the cost of your education, and it is essential also really to your academic success and health. Our office also sponsors a general orientation. As Bree said earlier, you will have a number of orientations. You will actually have probably 3 orientations. You'll have an international student and scholar orientation. You will have the general orientation that my office hosts, and then you'll have a departmental orientation. We really want to make sure that you're ready to go. It's a lot of fun. We hope it's really interesting for you. We scheduled what we believe is the most essential information for you to have to get started. And it also provides you with a lot of opportunities to get to know people. We'll have pizza parties, game nights, first year rally, dinners, breakfasts, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll be well fed that first week before school starts. And also we think you'll have a great opportunity to meet lots of students. For those of you who will be TAs, we will also offer a TA orientation, which is essentially, you can't teach somebody how to be a teacher in one day, but we hope it will give you the essential information that you need to feel confident those first few weeks as you get into class. And also for those of you who are in lab sciences, we have a required lab safety 1-hour training. Again, I'll be here for questions, but you'll see our contact information here on the slide. And I very much encourage you to ask to join our Facebook page. We have lots and lots of students on there. They will also, it's a place also for you to potentially seek roommates or housemates. People may be advertising that they are in need of housemates. And there's a lot of value information. So that's all for me for now. We really can't wait to meet you. It's a really exciting time of year when you arrive, and we hope you'll have a great graduate school experience at Lehigh.
Oh, jeez, this chair is always so high. All right. Thank you, Kathleen. So again, my name is Samba. I am with the Office of International Students and Scholars. I've heard Kathleen say that they offer free breakfast every Tuesday and hand massages. And I just wanted to add that we don't have free breakfast in my office, but you can come in for junk food any day of the week. We like junk food in my office. So
you have eggs and fruit with us.
yes, and junk food in OISS. So anyway, so I wanted to very quickly talk about our role here, the role of the Office of International Students and Scholars and our responsibilities. So our main role is really immigration and visa advising. So as many of you know, of course, you're coming in as non-immigrants, what immigration calls non-immigrants. So you're gonna be all on a visa. So when you come in, there's gonna be rules and regulations that you have to follow. And so our office is gonna be here for you in terms of giving you advice, making sure that you remain in status while you are in the United States. We also want you to have a very, very positive experience at Lehigh. So as the director of the office, I know my end goal is for you to graduate from the university and to be able to go back either to your home countries or stay in the United States, wherever you end up going, but for you to be able to tell our story that we are a good university to come to. We also will help you with adjustment and integration services. So there is going to be a variety of programs that will be offered through my office, as well as the office of the graduate, as well as the graduate life office that Kathleen oversees. So I'm going to give you a brief snapshot about international students at Lehigh. Currently, we have about 1,144 international students at Lehigh University. So these are the demographics of international students at Lehigh. You may be wondering, where are they coming from? Because I know as international students or future international students, one of the things that you are looking forward to seeing is the diversity here on our campus. So currently we have about 886 international students from the region of Asia. We have 91 students from the Middle East. We have 74 international students from Europe, 41 international students from Africa, and 49 from the Americas, from South America. Okay. This is iHome. I hope I am sitting here praying that by now you have heard of iHome. If you haven't heard of iHome, you are in big trouble. So iHome is the online service that all of you will be required to go into, to visit in order to receive your I-20s. Obviously, you cannot come to Lehigh University or the United States if you don't already have an I-20. So the only thing I wanted to mention here is that you want to make sure that you receive your I-20 before June 27th. That is our deadline for issuing I-20s, and I'm pretty sure that Brianne has been sending you messages about these deadlines. Airport pickup. This is the service that we offer to all incoming international students, but this is only for the fall. I'm not sure who we have here in the audience in terms of students and program start dates, but I know we have some programs that are starting in the summer, like June and like July, and I know also we have the fall program, which starts on August 27th. So this airport pickup service is only for those students who are arriving in August for the fall term. So the pickup service will be on August 15th. Just as a reminder, we've been sending emails to you for the last few months. As a reminder, our official arrival day to the United States and to Lehigh University is August 15th. If you arrive before August 15th or after August 15th, we will not be able to offer you this airport pickup service. We won't be able to do that. Also, remember that you cannot arrive to the US no sooner than 30 days before your program start dates. So if your program is starting July 15th, you cannot come into the US until June 15th. If your program is starting August 27th, you cannot come to the US until July 27th. So just keep that in mind. If you arrive sooner than 30 days before your program start date, immigration is gonna send you right back home, okay? This is what you can expect when you come to international orientation this fall. Again, this is not the only orientation that will be offered to you. You will have department orientation, you will have orientation with the Graduate Life Office, and then you will have international orientation. So international orientation starts August 15th. August 15th, as I said, is when you are supposed to arrive and say, hello, I'm here. So this is what you can expect. Immigration, check-in with OISS advisors. OISS as in the Office of International Students and Scholars. Immigration check-in is a requirement, and anything else that is with orientation is also going to be a requirement. You can also expect presentations on things like cultural adjustment. Obviously, you're coming from a foreign country, so this may be your first time in the United States. So attending presentations such as the cultural adjustment presentation will be very useful to you. Welcome dinner with Lehigh staff, OISS staff, and other faculty. You can also expect to go through what we call a tuberculosis screening and immunizations. Christina just talked about that. With that, I would like to invite my colleague from the Bursar office to speak to you.
Hello, my name's Mike King. I'm here from the Bursar's office. And although we handle many functions, the two main functions that we handle are generating billing statements for you and then consequently collecting the payments for those charges. We generate billing statements on a monthly basis, and we notify you whenever a new bill has been generated by sending an email to your Lehigh email address. The statements are only available by logging into our e-bill suite, and the website is listed there. The information on that website is available 24/7, and any new charges posted to your account are available online in real time. Another benefit to this process of online e-bills are that you can grant access to any others, perhaps a parent who's helping you fund your educational expenses. Then they will have their own login and can log in and see what your monthly bills are. Excuse me. The semester charges, your tuition and any related academic fees and health insurance will be due prior to the first day of class, which would be no later than August 24th. Thereafter, during the semester, any of your new charges are due the first of the month following the billing statement. And a typical charge like that would be for your monthly rent, should you be living in the Saucon Village. We would bill you, excuse me, like say the first week of September for your October rent, and that October rent would be due on October 1st. Your tuition rates would be, should be identified in your offer letters, and that will be on your bill. We accept payments from a variety of different vehicles. The preferred method from a remote location would be Flywire, which is a third-party company that Lehigh has partnered with, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. The key thing there is you will need your Lehigh ID number, which is your 9-digit number that starts with an 8. A lot of our international students also like to send payments with a bank wire. Here again, it's critically important that you include your Lehigh ID number on that bank wire so we can properly identify the payment to your account. And there are bank fees associated with bank wires. Other online payments, you can make credit card payments with either Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express, and that is online through the e-bill suite. You can also make an electronic check through the e-bill suite, but your checking account must have an American Bank Association routing number in order to complete that transaction. And just a note, we have noticed a lot of international students, their banks will put a daily limit on the amount that they can actually charge to their credit card. So just be aware of that. And you might want to check with your bank before you leave for Lehigh. Once you're on campus, again, you can make payments in our office. We accept checks, but here again, it must be in US currency and must have the American Bank Association routing number on the check. We accept money orders, and here again, we accept credit cards, the Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. But again, often there is a daily limit placed on those transactions by your bank. We do accept cash. It must be in currency, but we strongly recommend carrying large amounts of cash. It's not good for your security. So what did I say?
You recommend.
You
Oh.
encourage.
I'm still
Please don't bring a bag of money
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Sorry, I'm still trying to catch my breath from walking up 4 flights of stairs. We strongly recommend against carrying large amounts of cash. It's not good for your security. And if you do have large amounts of cash, the U.S. government requires additional forms to be filled out identifying the source of the cash in that. So again, all those other methods are preferred. And again, we recommend against carrying large amounts of cash. As I said, Flywire is the preferred method. A little bit about Flywire. It is a third party that Lehigh has partnered with. Here's some statistics. 90%, they have done transactions from 90% of the countries around the world, $6 billion, and 130 different countries. They're able to do the transaction in your local currency. You log into this system and you put in how much you want to pay Lehigh, and they come up with a pretty favorable currency rate, and there are no unnecessary bank fees associated with these transactions. You can track your transaction 24/7. Flywire has multilingual customer service support, and you can see the multiple payment options there. It is a secure service, and it is the preferred. It is our preferred method. Should you be sponsored by government or other third parties, such as a business, what we ask you to do is provide the Bursar's office with a copy of your voucher or other documentation showing what expenses the third party is going to pay, and the contact information where Lehigh can reach that third party so that we can send them a bill on your behalf. You should also complete a Bursar payment worksheet, which can be found at the website listed on the screen there. That helps identify how you are funding your charges that we've billed you for. Health insurance. All students on an F1 or J1 visa are required to purchase the Lehigh student health insurance. In some rare occasions, a student will be able to waive if and only if they are covered under a family member's U.S. plan or a foreign government plan. And should you be covered under a family member's U.S. plan or foreign government plan, you should contact the Office of International Student Scholars to verify that your insurance plan does qualify to waive the Lehigh Health Insurance Plan. The Lehigh Health Insurance Plan is $1,918 per year, and you will find, if you compare the benefits, that it is a very good deal. You get a lot of coverage for a fair amount of money. Checklist to consider, particularly with the financial aspects of your arrival, is please register for classes, your fall classes, as soon as possible. That triggers a number of other things to happen that will be necessary for you to complete your financial requirements. Confirm your enrollment in the health insurance no later than 10 days after registering for classes. That would be online through a website that we have a link to on our website. And pay for the fall semester charges no later than August 24th. Here is our contact information, and we encourage you to contact us with any additional questions that you may have or that may come up in the meantime. Again, trying to take care of as many issues as possible before you arrive on campus, just to make your arrival that much more convenient for you, and you can start getting involved in the Lehigh community and not worry about these other administrative issues. Thank you.
So Thank you, Mike. So now is the time to use the chat feature there on your screen for questions that you may have. And at this point, it looks like we have about 11 questions here. So let's see. Oh. Oh, it looks like we had some mic issues here. Somebody's mic was very noisy and causing trouble for other listeners. Was it at the very beginning? Okay. First question was, can you share the presentation on email? Yes, that was an easy answer. We will send it to you very shortly. Okay, here's a question here. Are the medical forms, including previous immunization records, required for everyone? I've been in the US for 7 years and never got some of the tests. This is for Christina.
Yes, all matriculating students have to complete and turn in the student health forms. If you have questions or concerns, please just email me and I can walk you through them. If you haven't received some of the tests or the immunizations, we can deal with that on a case-by-case basis. We can tell you where you can get the immunizations for free or at small cost, or if they're not necessary, we can you can sign a waiver. Thank you.
Okay, the next question here is, does the graduate student insurance cover the vaccinations mentioned in the medical form?
Yeah, anything that is preventative, the student health insurance will cover 100%.
This question is asking, what time is the pickup from JFK on the 15th? So we don't really have a specific time yet, but we like to say that you need to arrive anytime between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. If you arrive at midnight from JFK, most likely we won't be able to pick you up. So as you arrange your flights, try to arrive or find flights that will arrive at JFK between 8 a.m. in the morning and 6 p.m. at night. We also recommend that you don't fly into JFK. It is much easier for you to fly into EWR, which is Newark International Airport in New Jersey. It's closer to Lehigh University. So as you plan your trip, please try to fly into Newark, New Jersey instead of JFK, if possible. Next question is, where can we find more information on the student health insurance coverage and policies such as copay for specialists and so on?
There's a link on the student health center page. And if you go to the A to Z tab, just look right under insurance and that will list all your answers to your questions.
Okay, next question is it okay if you have an insurance from a local insurance company? I read it's required to have Lehigh insurance. The answer is no. You have to have the Lehigh insurance. It's required. And the next question is the cost of insurance already added to my account after I register for classes? I start in July, or do I have to request for it to be added?
It is automatically added
So,
upon registration.
so it is automatically added to your billing account upon registration. You don't have to do anything. Mike will take care of that for you.
The other thing I'd like to add is the sooner you go online and confirm your enrollment, the sooner your policy will be activated and you'll be able to obtain services under the policy.
Any other questions? When does course registration typically start for fall?
So course registration is already open, but as I said at the beginning. Each department has a different process. So depending on the department or program that you've been admitted to, you're going to want to contact your coordinator that you've been working with most likely throughout your admissions process, and discuss with them when you can register for classes. You will need to speak with an advisor and get a PIN number that allows you to register online. So if you haven't gotten any information about that yet, please contact your department or program coordinator to get details from them.
Thank you, Bree. The other question is, can I register for classes now, or am I supposed to register once we arrive?
Same thing again, our departments are a little different. Sometimes they like to have you sit with an advisor face-to-face before registering. Others are allowing students to do so already, depending on the program. So contact your department or program coordinator and they'll let you know if you're able to register already.
The next question is there an international orientation for students starting in July? Technically, no, but you are still required to come to the Office of International Students and Scholars for immigration check-in. But I believe programs will also have a shortened version of orientation for those students coming in July. And oh yes, and definitely you're supposed to be joining the August orientation. So just because you arrive in July doesn't mean you're not required to be at orientation August 15th. You still have to join the orientation August 15th. Yeah. Next question is there any late arrival option for graduate students?
This is really a program by program decision, and it's also dependent on the timing, how late. Sometimes the departments will be willing to work with students who have trouble getting here for the very beginning of classes. You'll want to talk to your individual department coordinators about that to see what might be possible.
All right, so we have another question here. Can the insurance, the Lehigh insurance amount be waived off in case I have ISO insurance in the United States? ISO? The answer is no, no, no. And then we have another one here. The dates of the August orientation are the 15th or 7th to the 17th, right? Yes. So from the 15th, which is arrival day, to the 17th, that's international orientation only. Again, you have department orientation, but you also have orientation from the Graduate Life Office, okay, which is the following week. And here's another question from somebody else who says, I'm not very fluent in English. I cannot understand you, so what should I do? Bree, do you want to take this one?
Right, so we will be sending out the presentation again so that you'll have some more time to review the presentation and go over it. If you need some assistance at that point, hopefully you might be able to get help from someone who's a little more fluent. I realize we're moving quickly, so you may not be able to keep up, but we will be sending this out so that you can follow along later on. And again, if you have questions, you just need to email your departments and your coordinators will do everything that we can to help you understand everything that you have questions on.
Yeah. So like Brian just said, this webinar is actually being recorded. So we will be sending you a YouTube link after this session. So for that person who said that their English is not very good, you can take your time at home to review this. Perhaps you can even review it with somebody who is more proficient in English, and maybe that person can help you better understand the information that was provided here. Another question from Jing Hu. The website says all incoming fall 2018 students must provide immunization record to the Health and Wellness Center by June 15, 2018. What if I cannot finish by then?
You can just email our office and ask for an extension. We understand there's some time constraints, and we'd be more than willing to extend that for you.
So email the health services office and request an extension. And what is the email, Christina?
INLUHC.
INLUHC@lehigh.edu. So INLUHC@lehigh.edu. Next question. The insurance Cigna PPO form says that the annual deductible is $50. Is this the same as a per visit copay? Health insurance terms are pretty confusing, I guess.
No, actually, this is a one-time fee, but it can actually be waived if you come to our health center or call me and let me know where you went and why, if you're out of the area, and we can waive that $50 deductible.
I think this person is asking, Srivas, I think is trying to ask, how does one receive information regarding course registration? Will I have to contact the representative in charge?
Yes, you will have to contact the coordinator for the program or department you've been admitted to. Again, when we send out this presentation in the beginning, my slides included contact information for all our departments and programs. So you would want to email your coordinator and ask them about course registration, and they'll be able to get you started.
Another question, how does one, no, this is a follow-up to a question. Also, can I submit the medical forms upon reaching Lehigh if I'm staying off campus?
Most of the graduate students stay off campus, but we would prefer to have those forms prior to your arrival because that gives us time to review them and let you know if you need anything. So even if they're not completely finished, please send what you have and then we can correspond and let you know if you're in need of anything or if you need to sign a waiver.
Okay, here's the visa question for Jean. I received a 221G form stating that my F1, whoa, hold on. This is moving too fast. Two questions are coming in here. So the question was, I received a 221G form stating that my F1 visa application at the US consulate in India requires further processing after my visa interview. Does the OISS have had previous experience with students who have received the same forms? If yes, could you please let me know how much time does it take for the visa to be approved? So these things do happen from time to time. You know, consular officers sometimes will handpick, you know, a student here and there for administrative processing, but I don't think that's something that you should worry about. In terms of the timeline, it just depends. We've seen it take a week, we've seen it take 2 weeks, we've seen it take 3 months, we've seen it take a year. We just recently had a student who was going through a administrative processing, and he's a PhD student here at Lehigh who traveled at home, and his took a year. So the honest answer is we don't know. But coming from India, it's less likely that yours will take a year. Another question: Do you need a hard copy to be mailed? Hard copy of what? Of immunization records, I assume.
No, you can just scan them. We'll print them at our office. That'd be fine.
Okay. So you can scan it and they will print it in the office there. Is there an EMI option available for health insurance? What is EMI? Can you please clarify what EMI means? Manual? Manual, can you clarify what you mean by EMI, option for health insurance? Oh, I'm sorry, not manual. Prathmesh, what is EMI? Manual, again, you don't need to You don't need to send in hard copies. You can just scan them and send it to the office. So EMI means easy monthly installments.
Are they paid by Yes.
I have never heard of that term before. You learn something new every day.
No.
No. Prathmish, no.
We have a payment plan that can divide it into 3 payments.
So we have a payment plan that can be divided into 3 payments, but we don't have EMI.
Well, it would be any balance. Not insurance.
Okay, another question here. This is a follow-up to the visa processing question. So continuing with the 221G question, if my visa application gets delayed further than August 15th date, is it possible if I could get an extension on my arrival date? Should I contact my graduate program coordinator for such extension?
Yeah, you definitely can. I think the only time you would start to need an extension is if you're not able to arrive for the start of classes. Certainly, we'd like you to be here for the orientation programs, but if you're having issues and you're not able to arrive for the beginning of classes, that's when you will want to contact your coordinator. And for chemical engineering, that's going to be Barb Kessler. You'll want to contact her and let her know what issues you're experiencing, and they'll work with you to try and extend your start date as long as they possibly could. And we'll work with the OISS office as well to see what we can do for you.
Thank you, Brianne. Any other questions? I may have missed this, but is the health insurance cost included in my bill from the Bursar's office? The online item I see is T2GT.
That's tuition. The health insurance will show up as a separate line item on your bill.
Okay, health insurance will show up as a separate line item on your bill, separate.
And when I said the health insurance will be added to your bill upon registration, that's your fall registration, not summer registration. So the health insurance only is effective starting with in August when you register for health insurance, or when you register for classes for the fall semester.
So if a student is arriving in July, then they don't see a bill until sometime in late August. Is that correct?
Well, upon registration, if they would register for fall in July, the charge will show up in July.
Okay.
The policy takes effect August 1st.
Okay, so he's following up with a question asking, so I won't have coverage over July, even though my program starts in July. That's correct. So coverage will begin in August.
The options they have is our insurance broker has policies, short-term policies that they can enroll in. We deal with a company called University Health Plans, and they offer some short-term plans that would cover you until your Lehigh policy would take effect on August 1st.
Thank you. We still have about 5 minutes here. Do you have any other questions? Okay, same person. Is there any rules that require me to be always covered, or can I elect to not be covered in July? So if you're coming in as an F1 student, you're probably okay not having coverage in July. But if you're coming in as a J1 visa holder, then you need to have coverage between July and August. You need to cover that gap. And it looks like this person will be coming in as a F1 student. So you should be fine. Okay, he said, got it. All right, good. Another question. My tuition is covered by my advisor. What should I do before August 24th?
You still need to make sure to get registered as soon as possible, as soon as your program allows you to. Everything that you've heard and we've talked about today still applies. Obviously, you won't necessarily need to worry about tuition billing because that should be handled on your department advisor's end. There's some paperwork that you may need to fill out that you can work with your coordinator on, but otherwise, you should be preparing for orientation and registering, and then you'll be good to go.
All right. Any questions? Well, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you either in July or August, whenever your program starts. So again, welcome to Lehigh University. Thank you.